right. Good morning. Good morning, Alona. We got a busy morning. Busy morning for science. Busy morning. Hopefully we'll get it all done. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get it done. How are you doing today? Good? All right. That's what we want to hear. How are you both doing?
Oh, good, Deb, thanks.
All righty. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear. We take every day one step at a time. Michael, what is up? One day at a time. That's the song that my grandmother used to sing. She was a little religious at the end. You know, that happens. That happens, Michael. And she had this song. That's what happened. We got, I'm putting Jeter. We got Adam. We got some people on Facebook. And good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Jamie.
I like Deborah's shirt.
My shirt. It's Lucky Charms Day. I got a lot of cool little things going on today. We got a busy morning in science. It's science and daily living. So let me explain. And somebody had asked me, so I'm going to make sure. Michael, maybe remind me. Alona, you too. Today is Tuesday. I got to look down. What? We got Kenny coming on? Excellent, excellent, excellent. We've got Kenny coming on. I gotta make songs up for everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Adam. As I say, Adam, aka Jeter. How are you? And we got Kenny on this morning. Good morning, Kenny. So happy to see you. We got Kenny. I should have like songs for all of you. Well, my cats are fighting. Don't fight. Good morning, Christian. Hey, everybody. Christian's on, nice and bright and early. Stop fighting, my cats.
Today's task, part 2, Mars is the fourth planet.
We got Hannah coming on. We got Hannah. We got Alona. Oh, sorry, I got a cough. We got Alona. We've got Kenny. We've got Jeter. We've got Michael. And we've got Hannah coming on. Hello, hello. Hey, Kenny, what's up, man? Whoa, wild angle. You're upside down, but it's okay.
Never want to do something.
All righty. Kenny, you're upside down, but I kind of dig it. It's like wild. How you doing today, Kenny?
All right, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. It's a good day. What? We got Terrence coming on. We got our science crew. I'm going to explain it. I got a new mug, too, for my science. He looks very smart. I don't know what he is. Maybe he's a hedgehog. I don't know, Michael. Let me know. Adam, do you know what this is?
It looks like a beaver.
A beaver? I don't know. He looks more like a porcupine or a hedgehog, I think. I don't know what it is. So, for those of you who are new to our science group,
I can explain.
Why don't you explain? What we do while we're letting other people in?
Well, every Tuesday we learn something new in science.
What?
So we do the planets and we do different stuff about science.
Excellent. And science, how it relates to our general daily lives. That's what it's really about. Like, hey, science is cool. Science is for geeks. No, I'm kidding. Science is for cool people. But it's even cooler when it relates to our lives. Let me see. Ooh, Christian's letting us know, Jeter. Yankees game.
Yes.
Also postponed yet again. Was it because of the other team, Michael?
No, it's because of the virus.
But was it some of the teams have tested positive, like the Marlins? Holy Toledo. They had a lot of cases. They had 14. So, yeah, we're going to see how that goes. It's a big bummer. Right, Adam? It's like, oh, man, like, PU, I say, on this virus. So, today, we're going to talk about, and let me just say this for the record, because somebody had asked. Uh-oh, my son Cooper's coming down. Today is Tuesday, July 28th. Today is Tuesday.
6 o'clock.
That's correct, my friends. That's correct. Tuesday, July 28th. Almost the end of the month of July. And if I don't see the person, but somebody's birthday. We got a birthday on the 31st. A birthday on the 31st. I wonder who it could be.
There's always next year.
There's always next year.
Every year July will come back.
Absolutely, Hannah. It seems to always come back.
But people don't come back to life when they're in heaven.
No, they don't. They move on and they live in a different way. And we
My
like
grandma's in heaven now.
So is mine. But you know what? They look down upon us and they're living good lives. They're living their best in a different dimension, I like to think. So we got Victoria coming on. Lovely. So let us begin. Christian, when are you going to Starbucks? Whoa, a cinnamon dulce latte. That sounds really good, man. You got good taste. Hello, Victoria. Hello. So we've got some things we've got going on today. Today we're going to talk about, Michael, you mentioned it.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Let people say their good mornings and their exchanges.
Let me say good morning too. Hello? Hi. Hi,
Wow. Nobody says hello to me like that, Michael. Nobody says, I want some sweetness as well.
I can see you.
We got Kara coming on. All right, just so people know, Terrence and Kara, you do not have your videos on. It's okay with me. I can hear you. I know that you're there, but I just wanted to let you know. Be careful, Christian. Be careful in the hot sun. Be careful, my friend. Be careful. So, Kenny, now you're right side up. You're right side up. Excellent. So today we're going to talk about, does anybody remember what we talked about last week? Does anybody remember what we talked about last week in science and daily? What? No, very close, Michael. What you're getting confused about is all week on our Facebook page, the research group picked planets, and every day you can go on, and now they're up on Google Classroom. You can go up every day in the morning and see, Katie, you want to jump in on this? It's good stuff, Katie. It's good stuff. It's not boring science. We're going to be talking about something important. We're going to be talking about the sun. It all relates. Every day on Facebook this week, it'll have something. Your daily task is something on the planets, Kara. Something on the planets. We're going through all of them. And then if you go onto Google Classroom, there's some cool stuff there. There's a word search. Somebody had asked to be put up a crossword, a coloring page as well for some of our artistic people. And all the videos on all the planets, including Pluto, which is a dwarf planet. And they took Pluto away from us. Pluto! Okay, so that's there. So today, actually, we're going to focus on something else. We're going to focus on...
Down 6 o'clock.
Yes, down at 6 o'clock. I'm okay. Can everybody hear me? Everybody's quiet, but I just want to... Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. Yes, no, later, afterwards. So... what we're going to focus today on is actually the sun. We're going to focus on the sun and how it affects our lives. And you guys are going to help me there. And I also will be putting up an experiment. I'm going to do an experiment later because I don't think I have a spot with direct sun. So does anybody want to tell me what the sun is? What is the sun? What does it mean to you? Anybody? What is it?
It's a star.
It's a star. Absolutely. Oh, I don't have all my stuff, man. Oh, no, I do. I have all my stuff. It's a star. That is correct. It's a star like other stars. We've talked about this in the past on our Sunday. Does anybody know, is it hot or cold? Who wants to take a guess? Hannah, take a guess. Take a guess.
Hot.
It is hot, girly girl. It is super duper hot. Supposedly, Kara, Kenny. Oh, I like that. Kara, Kenny. You guys should get a group together. The core of the sun is thought to be... Does anybody know how hot it is? Does anybody want to take a guess? How many degrees do you think it is? Take a guess.
Oh, no, it's hot.
It's hot. It's hot. Like, we would just, and actually, this is really cool because it relates to last week's lessons. We did states of matter, where we had a liquid, a gas, and a solid, and we did the three. We did the three. There's actually a fourth, and it's plasma, and apparently part of the sun. Some of the sun is made of plasma. So that's another discussion.
The sun sets in the west.
The sun sets in the, it rises in the east, and it sets in the west. That is correct. Let me lay some knowledge on you. The sun is thought, okay? Because we don't know. Has any human ever been close, like on the sun? Raise your hand if you'd fry up. It's too hot.
No.
So this is a theory. It's thought to be 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. Million degrees. 27 million degrees. Jeter, you think that's hot? That's hot. All right. And does anybody want to take a guess how long it takes? Let me ask you this. Is the sun close or far away? Who wants to give me an answer? What do you think? It's Kenny and Michael say it's far away. You guys would be correct. I guess it depends on what far is. The sun, oh my goodness. Wow, it's pretty big. Does this give me how far it is away from us? I mean, it's pretty far. It's pretty big too. It's like 863,700 miles wide, and it's about 110 times wider than the Earth. So it's pretty big. So it's pretty far. And does anybody know how long it takes for the light from the sun to reach Earth? Who wants to take a guess? Take a guess. Let's go around the room. Give me a number, Jeter. What do you think? 3 days? What do you think? Anybody? Michael, you want to take a guess?
10?
10 what? 10, what's the unit? 10 what?
10. I don't know, 10, I can't think.
Could be 10 years, 10 days, 10 hours, 10 minutes, 10 seconds.
10 years?
10 years, okay? Anybody else want to take a guess on how long it takes for the sun? What do you think, Jeter? You think it's days? Do you think it's hours, or you think it's minutes? You don't know? What do you think? If you said minutes, you would be correct. It takes 8 minutes for the light from the sun to reach Earth. Fast or slow, considering how far away the sun is. What do you think, Michael? Fast or slow?
Fast?
It's pretty fast. Light travels at the speed of light. It's pretty fast. It's far away, and it takes only 8 minutes. I mean, dude, it takes me 8 minutes to walk to my car from my door, okay? So that's amazing. Alrighty. Oh, wait a minute. This says the sun is not a star. I gotta find that out. What is it? It's a star. I always thought it was a star. It's a kind of star.
The sun is not a star.
We gotta find, what is it? If it's not a star, we gotta find out what that is. I gotta fact check that. I always thought it was a star. We gotta find that out. Does anybody know what it's made of? I know, Adam is just as angry as me. Does anybody know what it's made of? Anybody want to take a guess? Is the moon made of cheese? No, it's made of rocks. It's a rock. Did anybody ever hear that the moon is made of cheese? That's like in the cartoons. It's not. The sun is not made of like lava. It's made. I don't understand. I want shenanigans. I call shenanigans on this.
I just Googled it.
And what did it say? What is it?
The sun is a star.
It is a star. This is a typo. Does anybody know what it's made of? It's made of two things. Two substances. Who wants to take a guess? Let me ask you. I'm going to give you a hint. Yeah, Jeter wants to guess. What is in your balloons that make them float up? What is in your balloons?
Air.
Not just any air. It's just the ones that stay up on their own. What's it made of? Does anybody know what the gas is? Hot air? No, I'm not talking about hot air balloons, man, but good guess, good guess. It's made of helium. Helium is one of the gases or one of the substances. Helium, you know the stuff that you suck from the balloon, you should not do this, and it makes your voice wacky? Helium and hydrogen. Helium and hydrogen.
Carbon monoxide.
The sun is composed of hydrogen and helium only. Hey, wow, we got Laura coming on. Nice. We got a good crew. We got a good crew for us on Science and Daily Living. Yeah, it's Laura.
Hi,
Welcome.
Deborah.
Good morning, Laura. Good morning. We're here for science. We're talking about the sun because this week, all week on our daily tasks is the planets. So we are focusing on the sun today because the sun really affects us. All right, and we were laying down some hardcore facts about the sun. So we know the sun is hot. We know it's far away, but we know the light travels really fast. And we know it's old. It's really old. It's older than me, guys. It's 4.5 billion years old. That's pretty old. That's even older than me. Alrighty. So, let's begin. Let us begin. So, if I put stuff out in the sun, what's going to happen? Give me some feedback. If I put some stuff out, I'm not telling you exactly what yet. What might happen to some of the stuff? Give me some thoughts.
It'll get hot.
It would get hot. I like that. It would get hot, okay? It's going to get hot. What else might it? Oh, I got to put this on my notes. Oh, here, I'll put it over here. It'll get hot, depending on what it is. Yep.
You can get sunburn.
Now, if it's a person, excellent, Laura. That is taking us to how the sun affects us in daily life. So that was a good choice. What else? It gets hot. People might get sunburned. I put stuff out. What's certain?
Ice cream will melt.
Excellent. It might melt. Excellent. That's correct. I have a strange guy in my house over here. Gets hot. It melts. What else might it do? Anybody? If I put something in... Yes, you can go upstairs. I'll get you lunch a little bit, my friend. Working at home. So it's going to get hot. It could melt. What's something...
Joys of working at home.
The joys of working at home is always so much fun. When you got kids at home. I shouldn't complain. What else might it happen? Some very solid things. Remember, states of matter. Get hot. Some things will melt. Hey, when something melts, what does it turn into? Like water or ice cream. What does it turn into? A mush. A mush. Good morning, Nikki's family. Good morning. What else might it turn into? Liquid. It's in my coffee cup. Might turn into a liquid. Now, let's say I got a little bit of water. It rained. Let's say it rained and it made a puddle, okay? It made a puddle. And the sun's beating down on that puddle. What's going to happen to that puddle? Is it there at the end of the day? No, Kenny, you are correct. Do you know what happened to it? What happened to the water in the puddle? It evaporated. Excellent. It evaporated. So, we kind of figured out. So, later, before the end, I think we're going to do it towards the end. We're going to do our experiment. I'll post this up on Google Classroom. You could try it yourself, too. We're going to put, hold on, but at first I want to talk about sun. Whoopsie doodles. So, for this experiment, we're going to do what melts in the sun. We're going to do melts, and we might even have some things that go beyond melts, like Kenny said, what evaporates in the sun. For this experiment, which we'll be talking about later, and I will take pictures throughout the day, and I will share with you on Facebook and Instagram. You need a muffin tin. A muffin tin is nice because you can try different things. So later on, maybe while you're getting ready for lunch, you got to do it right away because we're going to put some things in here. And some of the things we're going to put in, you could take an object that's like solid. So maybe like, I don't know if you have like, I have Legos, but maybe you have marbles. A marble's a good one to put in. Something like a wooden block, something solid. What else? A piece of glass. Well, I don't want glass. You could. What'd you say?
No.
You said something, Terrence?
Great.
Okay, yeah, we don't want, so like a glass marble, maybe some coins you can put in there. I have Legos, maybe you have some puzzle pieces, some game pieces, something like that. Some pieces that are plastic, maybe a piece that's wood, a piece that's, coins are good. To put in. So something like that. So I want you to pick a couple of solid things. Maybe a coin. I've got a couple of things in here. Rocks, you could put a rock, anything like that. Pick a couple of things. Then you're going to pick some other things, like maybe some butter, if you have a pat of butter or margarine. Maybe a crayon. Maybe take the paper off the crayon and like you got some old crayon, stick a crayon in there. A piece of cheese. Will go over this. If you got a piece of chocolate, I'm jealous because I'm really needing chocolate, but a piece of chocolate.
I love chocolate.
I don't have any chocolate in my house, and that would have been perfect. A piece of chocolate. Maybe a piece of soap. And then some ice, or if you have a scoop of ice cream, something like that. We need something frozen. A piece of ice, definitely you need, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about that towards the end, because I'm going to put it together, and then when we're finished, I'm going to put it in the sun. I'm waiting for the sun to move. I want bright sunlight. Ooh, you're making me jealous, Laura. You I like your emoji with the mask, Cheryl. That is pretty fancy. Good day to you. So we got some. Laura, where'd you get that candy bar?
I'm in Victoria.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to gather up some of these items and then I'm going to put it in the sun and we're going to find out. We're going to see if anything has a change of states of matter. But who isn't, girl? Who isn't? But why am I...
Victoria jealous.
Oh, you're making me jealous. You're making me jealous showing that lovely piece of...
Deborah, do you know what else? If you put paper in the heat, could cause a fire.
That is true. If it got so hot, if it reached such a temperature, that's what we're talking about. Laura, it was good of you to bring that up. We're talking about temperature. We're talking about heat. And if we add the heat of the sun to some things, will it change their states of matter? Will it change? Will they melt? What will happen if we put things in the sun? Now, I know you guys are like, hey, Deborah, that's a really simple thing. I could probably tell you what's happening. I don't know if you could guarantee. Some of these things might melt and you might be like, wow, that sun is really hot. And that's the purpose of this experiment. We want to really understand how hot the sun is just on our planet. I'm just going to put, I have a front porch, Laura and Kenny, that my front porch gets such direct sun, I can't put any plants on it. They'll die. It gets so hot, you would think I was in a desert. I don't know why. That's the way it's always been. I get such direct sunlight, Terrence. Such direct sunlight. So we might think that the sun, Terrence, the sun is really far away. But can the sun cause us, yes, thank you. Can the sun cause some problems for us, Terrence? Can the sun cause some problems for us?
Yes.
Yes, it can absolutely cause some problems for us. Is the sun good for us? Does the sun do important things for us?
Yes, it gives us vitamin D.
Yeah, like it's we need that. It helps our body use, absorb vitamin D. What else does the sun do for us? Before we get to the negative, let's think of some positive stuff. What does the sun do for us? Gives us vitamin D. What else? What, Terrence?
Light.
It gives us light. Could you imagine? I mean, that's a scary world to always be in darkness, right? The sun can cause, we're getting to the bad stuff, Caitlin. You're right. There's some dangerous things that we need to look at. Caitlin said the sun can cause certain cancers, like skin cancer.
Skin
It
cancer.
can. And what Laura said, Laura, what did you warn us about? What did you warn us about?
I said if you put like paper or even cigarettes, but
It can spark fires. It can. And what else did you say earlier? We always get this at the beginning of summer when we don't put on sunburn. It can cause sunburn. It's pretty serious. Which if you get repeated sunburn and you don't take care of your skin or you don't protect it, you can get certain kinds of cancers. Absolutely. So we should wear a hat. We should protect our skin. We should protect our skin.
That's
And
why
who
I
likes,
put soap on
let me ask you, who here has ever suffered a sunburn? Raise your hand if
Oh
you.
my God, I have.
Okay,
I
1,
have.
2. So Victoria, Laura, Michael, Jeter, have you ever gotten sunburn? I am sure you have. Hannah, have you ever gotten sunburn? Hannah, have you ever gotten sunburn?
I've gotten a sunburn.
You've gotten sunburn, right? We've all gotten
I don't have
sunburn.
any more sunburn.
No, it goes away. It goes away.
No more.
Good. It goes away. It
I
heals.
have to put alloy on it.
I
because-
do. I have aloe, and that's next week. I think I'll bring you some aloe. We'll talk about maybe some sunscreens and stuff like that.
I have aloe.
I have an aloe plant. So that's good.
Wow, that's really cool, Deborah.
How do you prevent sunburn? How do you prevent sunburn, guys?
Sunblock.
Sunblock. A good sunblock. And you want to cover your bod. You want to cover your bod.
And sunglasses.
Yeah, you want to cover your bod. You want to cover all your parts.
I sit underneath a tree.
Yeah, get some shade. Don't be going in. When I might be the oldest one here, so I'll share this with you. When I was a kid, I was a kid in the 70s, and it was very popular that you would put baby oil on your skin. And you would go and sunbathe. You would want to tan. And I remember when I was a kid, every summer I'd go to Florida, pretty hot. And it was like a rite of passage. We never put on the right sunscreen. There was no sunscreen. It was suntan lotion. And my sister and I would get burned. Oh my goodness. We'd get burned on our tushies. We'd get burned everywhere, on our thighs. We'd get burned on everywhere. And it hurt. And then it would slowly, you'd peel. That's damage to your skin.
I hate peeling it.
Yeah, right?
Like when it peels, but
Ooh, and
it's
you
like,
peel it off, right? Ooh, I used to be like, peel it off. So then we would get a tan. But, so don't do that. Don't do what we did, because Caitlin's right. And everybody else here is right. You could get sun cancer. Give me something else. So the sun, let's talk about positive things. It gives us vitamin D. It gives us light. Light's important so we can see. Light's important. What happens with the light? What grows when in the sunlight?
plants.
Yeah. They don't. Most plants need some kind of sunlight. Most plants need sunlight. They gotta grow. Does anybody know, we've done it here, does anybody know the process that happens with plants? They take in the sun.
Carbon dioxide?
They give off carbon dioxide. That is part of they take in carbon dioxide and they give off oxygen. Very good, Laura. It's a process that starts with a P.
Photosynthesis.
Excellent. Photosynthesis. They take in our carbon dioxide, because when we breathe in oxygen that gives energy to our cells, and our lungs, actually, what they do is they filter out stuff and they exhale the waste product, which is carbon dioxide. We don't like a lot of carbon dioxide. It's not good for us. So we breathe it out, and the plants, here, let me take a plant. Ooh, plants love carbon dioxide. Hello, plant. and it uses it. It takes it, and that helps it grow. They're kind of the opposite. They give off, and plants give off oxygen, which helps keep us healthy, helps clean the air. And that creates food and it helps grow. That's how it works, photosynthesis. We did a little bit of that. We saw respiration of a plant about a couple months ago. So let's talk today, though. The sun is important. The sun heats. Listen, if we didn't have the sun, if the sun disappeared tomorrow, what would happen to all of us? Not to be
We would die.
Yeah, we'd freeze. We need a certain temperature. We need a certain temperature. It wouldn't be a good scene. Everything on earth would just not do well. Would not survive. But we need the sun to keep us warm. You know, we need to live in a certain temperature. I think it's a little too hot. Michael, does anybody know what the temperature is going to be today? Does anybody? Somebody look it up for us. Let's find out.
Right now it's 90 degrees.
What? It's 90 degrees at only 11 o'clock during the day? That's disgusting. Yuck. What's the temperature going to be? What's the high temperature going to be, dude? Do you know?
Well, mine is going to be 89 in Randolph.
89.
In Randolph.
Okay, all right. A little bit cooler than where I am. Anybody else know what the high temperature is going to be? Michael's looking it up for us.
But we're also supposed to get where I live thunderstorms.
Ooh.
Isolated thunderstorms.
So I better get this experiment done, because what happens when storms come in? The clouds block the sun. What's it going to be?
88 degrees high of 90 to 88.
All right. Now, okay, so maybe not as hot as yesterday. I was dropping off the food at the Helping Hand food pantry. Holy Toledo! My thermometer on my clock on my car said it was 98 degrees. Now, Victoria and Kara will attest to this. I'm not always very bright. I was wearing very dark black clothing, and I'm lifting all these things.
That's the heat.
It was not very good.
That's the heat.
And I'm bringing all this stuff, Victoria. I'm sweating my butt off as I'm bringing the bags. There was like so many bags, but they were very happy, the food bank. Okay, so that's good. So it's gonna be hot and it's gonna be sunny for part of the day. I gotta find the sun. And I'm going to take up Cooper's bothering me all morning. He's got to go to his Aunt Donna's.
Tell him to go upstairs.
I'm going to tell him. Michael, maybe you got to tell him. Yes. My son Cooper's home, and he wants to go to his Aunt Donna's tonight, and he needs to be reassured.
How old is he?
Cooper's 16. Cooper's 16, but he needs to be reminded or assured that he's going.
16?
Yeah, I know. I look too young. Yes, Victoria, he's 16. Victoria, he's got a beard that would match Kenny's just about. He needs to shave. Kenny's like, no way. I've got an awesome beard. He's like, I got the best beard here. But Kenny, my son Cooper, he's starting to get a good beard, man. He's got to learn to shave.
Do you have any other kids?
I have a younger son, Simon. He's 12. He's 12. Simon. So you'll see these guys from time to time.
So Cooper and Simon are your sons.
Cooper and Simon are my boys. And that's it. And I got 3 cats. Westchester, a.k.a. Kitten.
Where's Oreo?
You ask and you shall receive. You ask and you shall receive. Here's Oreo. Oreo's strutting his stuff. He has no shirt on. So I would not put him in the sun.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
He's our mascot, Laura. He's our mascot. Yeah, so you get like extra points, whatever these points are. If you find Oreo, if you find him or you ask for him, you get extra points. So, sun. Why am I talking about the sun other than, Jamie is showing off 87 in Ocean City. I bet it's nice. That's a nicer 87 than 87 in my yard. Let me tell you.
Parsippany.
Wow, like, I don't know what it is in Montvale.
It's supposed to be 88 here.
Ooh, well, it's still a little too warm for me.
I wonder what the weather is.
Listen. Let me ask you,
Bergen County.
Bergen County, we're hot. We're hot. In New Jersey, we're hot. What happens for us? Does anybody know why it's so hot right now? For us,
Summer.
It's summer. It's summer.
It's because it's dry.
Okay, it's summer, right? All those things. But do you understand why it gets very hot for us in the summer?
Because it's so hot.
It's hot, and it has to do with where our planet today, one of the highlighted planets, is Earth. So go on our Facebook page.
The equator.
Yes, the equator's important. So the Earth is spinning, but what does it move around throughout the year? What does it move around? And you already know it because we're talking about it. What does the Earth move around throughout the year? It moves around the sun. So the sun is the center of our universe, and all our planets move around it in our solar system, right? And we move around, and the way that the Earth moves, actually, what happens is our position, our closeness to the sun changes. So the Earth just doesn't, every little place doesn't get the same amount of sun, or it's not as close to the sun all the time. So as you said, the equator's really important. The Earth is on something. I need a globe. I have one upstairs, but I'm not going to get it because I'm too lazy. It's got an equator. It's got an equator that goes around it, but it has like an axis. We call it like an axis. Imagine if like a big spike went through the Earth, and the Earth kind of tilts certain ways, and as it moves around the sun, it changes the way it tilts. And this time of the year for us, on our side of the equator, the northern hemisphere, we're closer to the sun than we are the rest of the year. And that's why it gets really hot. What's going on the other side of the equator? The southern hemisphere. I should have gotten my globe. Duh. Oh, well.
It gets colder.
It does. They're in winter. South America's in winter.
It gets cold.
We're in summer because the way the Earth is positioned and the way we're facing the Earth and the sun while we're moving around,
It gets cold.
we're closer. We're to our general position. We are closer to the sun than, let's say, we are in the winter. Okay? So that's why it gets hot in the summer. So before we do our experiment, and we got to photograph it, because this is a boring experiment. I didn't want to take you outside and let you watch stuff melt. But I wanted to explain why we are doing this. Okay? The reason why we want to see if some things melt and find out, like, wow, I put that in the sun and it melted. And we may not think that's important or a big deal. When you want to melt food, what do you guys do? When you want to melt like ice, or you want to evaporate it, or you want to melt butter,
Leave it out.
you can leave it out. Some things might melt if we leave them out. Definitely, the temperature changes. But let's say butter. Or chocolate, or Laura's delicious chocolate. If we left it out, would it melt? Laura's holding it. She is proof of this right now. Okay? Is that melted, or is that pretty solid? It's solid, right? It didn't melt. If we hold it, what will happen?
It'll melt.
It'll melt in our fingers because we have a temperature, right? We have a temperature.
Laura, you're tempting me with
All right? We're kind of hot. We're hotter. Our bodies are hotter than the air. We're warm-blooded, meaning our body maintains
I
heat.
want that chocolate.
Okay? Well, no chocolate for you, my friend. Virtual chocolate. We send it to you.
Oh, I have regular chocolate.
Oh, that's delicious. Now, let me ask, guys, because this is our next step. What happens? We have to cook it, right? We have to cook it.
I want that chocolate.
We put it in a pot and we boil it, right? We raise the heat.
I want the chocolate.
Nope, you can't have the chocolate. You can't have the chocolate, or I'm going to mute you.
You know what? If if you put French fries in the oven, it warms it up.
That's right. We add heat.
Chocolate.
Okay? But
Don't do like pizza and stuff that
Okay.
you want to warm it up.
But let me ask you, you use an oven, you use a microwave. That's a lot of power, right?
Yeah.
We don't think of the sun having a lot of power. We just think it's there. But the sun's heat is very strong, right? The UV rays, there's things in that sun that's strong. So let's talk about what could happen to us if we're out in the sun too long. That's the daily part. So let's talk about it. You ready? What is something that happens to you when it gets too hot? What do you think?
You get overheated.
Okay, so Laura says overheated. We get sunburn, overheated, which is a general term. Anything else that you might get?
Dehydration.
Yes, that is a definite physical dehydration. Yep. What else might happen? The overheating is your body temperature. Does anybody know the fancy names, the official things, the official names that might happen to you, the actual illnesses that happen when you get too hot? Does anybody know? So sunburn is one. Sunburn is one.
You might sweat.
Sweating is good. Sweating is important. Good. Sunstroke. Good, Laura. Sunstroke. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 things here, dude. You ready, Jeter? We've got sunstroke, sunburn. I know you're talking to me. What else might you get? What else might you get? Something called heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion. It's like one level below heat stroke.
Especially if you're walking.
Have you ever heard of something called heat cramps?
No.
Heat cramps and heat rash. I generally get like heat. I used to get this all the time as a kid. Heat rash. So the things we're going to talk a little bit about today is heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heat cramps, sunburn, and maybe heat rash. All these materials are up on Google Classroom. And I want us to talk about what this means and what we can do to make sure that we don't get heat exhaustion or heat stroke. So somebody said it. What's some signs of heat exhaustion? You just got too much heat.
Walking?
So that's how you might get, what's a sign or a symptom, meaning something that you are feeling?
Overheated and dehydration.
Okay, overheated and you might be dehydrated. Yes. Okay, good. What else might you do when you start to get overheated or you get heat exhaustion? Michael said it. What happens?
You faint. Sometimes you can faint.
Yes, definitely fainting is one of the signs of heat exhaustion.
That's like me when I walk to the lake. I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, so we got to talk about that. So fainting, passing out. You might feel you get either a fast pulse or a weak pulse. You start to feel that things are pumping your heartbeat, your heart rate's off, right? You start to sweat very heavy. Heavy in heat exhaustion. Okay? Now
you can even get a headache.
Yes, Laura, very good. What else might you do?
Nausea.
You might get sick. You might puke. You feel queasy, as we say. Excellent. You might feel very, Michael talked about, he had to sit down. He's feeling what? Tired. And dizzy. Good. That's another symptom. You're feeling tired or weak. You might get muscle cramps, right? Muscle cramps, which is kind of weird. I don't think I've ever gotten that. Your skin, and this is a very bad sign. This is meaning you're starting really to go into shock. Your skin might get actually cold, pale, and clammy, right? And you're sweating. They sometimes say sweating profusely. So let me ask you, is sweating sweating actually...
when I come home from the lake, I sweat. I have to jump in the shower as soon as I get home.
To cool off. You got to cool off, right? So sweating on a whole is important. Your body does it. Does anybody know why you sweat? No one?
Because you're out in the sun.
Well, you're out in the sun. You're right. That's one of the things you sweat. Laura said you sweat when you exercise. Michael said you sweat when you're out in the sun. Sometimes we sweat when we're nervous. Something happens in our body that makes us sweat.
Our heart? No, not
Okay, well, it's related. Something happens, and I don't have it with me. Something happens. What happens to you? How do you feel when you sit out in the sun? You feel hot. Your body temperature starts to go up when you exercise, right? Woo! I'm feeling warm. You're making energy.
Sweating, I'm looking it up. Sweating helps you. It cools yourself down.
There you go. Bingo. Sweating's important. I mean, we don't like it. It looks gross. We get the armpit stains. I get them, right? Sweating's important. It lets some toxins out. It lets some things off. Jamie and Laura had it correct. Your body is cooling itself down. The body is cooling itself down. You guys have these bodies. Your bodies are amazing machines. Amazing things. Your body knows how to your body likes to live in a certain state, fancy word, called homeostasis. It likes to be at a certain temperature. It likes a certain acidity. It likes things just to be just the way it likes. A certain set. It doesn't like to get too hot. It doesn't like to get too cold. Does anybody know the average normal body temperature for a human? And Caitlin said it. Dogs pant to cool off. They're letting the hot air. That's what they're doing.
Yes, I've seen. Yes, dogs.
What's the normal average body temperature? Does anybody know?
I'm looking it up.
Look it up, Laura. I got it here too. It varies. Okay? Sometimes when we're sick, our body will raise our internal body temperature to kill the germs.
Oh, I think it's like 99.4 or 98 something.
98.6 is typically what they say, but our bodies can range anywhere from 97 degrees Fahrenheit to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where we fall. Somewhere in there.
Well, it also, when your temperature gets too high,
that's right.
Get sick.
You're sick. You're actually sick before the temperature. The temperature, your body raises your temperature to kill bacteria and viruses. Bacteria and viruses don't like to be too hot. So what happens is your body says, okay, germs, okay, bacteria and viruses, we don't like you in here. We're going to raise the body temperature to kill you off. Your body is fighting infection. That's one of the ways it does it. But your body doesn't really feel good when it gets too hot. Who here feels good when they get a fever?
I hate it.
Nobody feels good.
I absolutely hate it.
You feel terrible. You feel terrible. So,
I don't want to get out of bed.
No, exactly. You feel terrible. It's not good for us, for our bodies, to be of a certain temperature. And when we get heat exhaustion, something in our bodies, your body can't regulate. Fancy word, meaning your body can't regulate your temperature anymore. Your body is having a hard time keeping your temperature down to where it's supposed to be. That's why heat exhaustion and heat stroke are very serious. Very serious. So let's talk about, so we said heat exhaustion's kind of the first level, right? We start to sweat a lot. The body needs to cool down. Our skin may get clammy and cool. Our pulse, our heart rate might be changing, right?
Confusion.
Your blood pressure can drop. Absolutely. You get that confusion, definitely, especially with heat exhaustion. Hold that thought, Laura. We can get dizzy, we can get tired, we can faint, and we can pass out, or we feel like we're going to faint and pass out, right? All these things. Now, what do we need to do when we start to feel heat exhaustion? What's the first thing we should do?
Drink water.
Okay.
Going to a cool place.
Yes, that's number one. Laura knew it. Go to a cool place. Get out of the sun. That's very important. Go to the shade. Go into air conditioning.
That's what I do. I
Go
sit in
into
the
a cool place. What's the
When I
next?
went to Camelback, Deborah,
Yeah.
I had heat exhaustion so really bad, so I felt like I was going to pass out. So I had to go like do the nursing thing.
Yeah.
for them.
It's serious. Terrence, are you saying something? Are you?
When I go to the
Because I felt like I was going to pass out.
Yeah.
That's how bad
That
it
is a
was.
big sign. You start to almost.
when I go to the lake, I sit in the shade.
Yes, you should. You avoid the sun. So you want to move to a cool place.
6 o'clock.
Yes. What else might you do with your clothes? You might want to loosen them or take off extra clothes, okay?
Yes.
So if you're wearing like a coat on top of, take that coat off, okay? You should what should you put on your body?
Like a cool cloth.
A cool, wet cloth. That'll start to help take the temperature. Well, that you should do beforehand. As we're in a cool place, we're going to loosen the clothing. Hats can keep heat in. So we want to remove our hat in a cool place. We want to loosen tight clothing, remove extra layers, start to put cool, wet cloths on us. And yes, Michael, we should start to sip some water because we can become dehydrated. And that will help cool our body down. When should you get medical help? When should you go to the nurse? You should always go to the nurse's station.
911.
So when should you do that? When should you get medical help? What are some signs that if you got too much sun, what might you do? What are you doing that says, hey, or call help for somebody else? If somebody's throwing up, call for help. Call 911. Go get a doctor or the nurse's station if you're at a camp. If you don't cool down, if your symptoms are starting to get worse, even though you're starting this first aid treatment, and what?
Or a teacher.
Yeah, call a teacher, call a counselor, get somebody to get you some help. Make sure, definitely. Or if these symptoms last more than an hour. Once you start to go into a cool space and you start using cloths and you're sipping water and you've removed some of your excess clothing, you should start to feel a little bit better. But definitely, if you are ever concerned, always call for help. Always call for help. So let's move on to the next one. Let's move up a notch. Let's move up a notch with this, okay? So heat stroke. What are some signs of heat stroke? Is heat stroke worse than heat exhaustion? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is worse. It is worse. Okay. It's like the next level and a notch above. Okay. So let's talk about heat stroke. So does anybody really know what's happening? What's happening to your body temperature in heat stroke?
It rises.
It rises. Does anybody know to what it could rise to?
104 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, or 103. Go with a little lower. 103 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. That's when your body temperature. So you're not sick with an infection that you have a temperature because you're sick. What happened is you're getting sick because the sun is heating up your body so much. Your temperature is way above. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot. And 103 for an adult, wow, that is a high temperature. So you might, if somebody's really sick, you might find a way, let's take your temperature. Their skin, how does their skin look? It looks usually like mine. It doesn't look pale anymore. I have rosacea. It's hot, red, and dry. Now it can't cool off. It's all right. Good one, Laura. Good one, Terrence. What about your pulse? Starts to go up. Your heart rate's starting to go up. You're starting to really have some real issues there. Then what might you have? You might have this in both. What starts to hurt? You might not. Your head.
Headache.
You got a headache? And what else might you have? Ooh.
Dizziness.
Dizziness. Some of the symptoms are the same, right? What else?
Oh, throwing up.
You gotta throw up. You're vomiting, or you feel nauseous. You have nausea. Hey, Tony, we're almost done. Laura said it earlier. You are, I don't know where I am. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm babbling.
Confusion.
It's confusion. Confusion. We get confused. Our brain's not working as well. Okay?
I looked it up. It says for heat stroke, it says if you have to stay in for 1 or 2 days.
Oh,
or it could take, for a complete recovery, it could take at least 2 months.
yeah. Oh, a heat stroke is really serious. That's why we're talking about the power of the sun. And what's the ultimate thing that you're going to happen to you? Well, not the ultimate. But you could pass out. So what's the first thing you need to do if you suspect somebody is suffering from heat stroke?
Call 911 right
Call
away.
911. Call 911. This is very serious. This is very serious. Remember, our bodies don't like to get too hot. What else should you do? Where should you move the person? What kind of place? A cooler place. A much cooler place. That's right. Not a freezer, but a cooler, I imagine. I don't know.
That's
I
why
think there
it
could be a
says the
shop.
hospital.
Yes.
That's why I looked it up and it says the hospital.
So you're going to call 911. You're going to move them to a cool place. You're definitely going to get them out of the sun. You're going to help lower their temperature by putting cool towels or cloths or a cool bath. We need to bring that body temperature down. And do not give the person something to drink. That's very interesting. Do not. Yes. So call 911, and that's in here too. That's in there too. So you're gonna move them out of the sun, someplace air conditioned, cool. Okay, maybe put them near a cooler. Let them recline. Right. Then you're gonna. This one says you can spray their body with cool water, or you can put like blankets, towels, sheets on their body. You're gonna, sometimes I say massage their body, that can help. And you should also start to remove clothing, too much clothing. Make sure that they are not constrained. Start getting that temperature down. Okay? That's our first aid for this. We're gonna talk more about heat-related illnesses. We're gonna go more into sunburn stuff too next week. So keep these will help us. So we're talking about the power of the sun, all right? The sun is strong. I want you all to make sure you what? Wear loose.
Drink a lot of water.
Loose light clothing. Stay in the shade if you can. Next week we're going to talk about sunburn.
Stay inside.
Stay inside in peak hours is absolutely key. Next week. Okay, because we got such a good topic, Tony. We didn't get to go through all our stuff. So next week we're going to talk about some preventative measures to keep us safe. Start thinking about it. Maybe next week, if you come onto Science, bring your favorite sunscreen. Bring your sunscreen. Okay? And today, Tony, I'm going to take some photographs and a timer. Your science experiment will also be on Google Classroom. You're going to get a muffin tin. You're going to put a few objects, something wood, something metal, something glass like a marble, put one in. Then you're going to take something softer like ice cream or butter or cheese or an egg. See if you can cook an egg. And then you're going to put in something frozen like an ice cube. And if you have a crayon, put a crayon in. And if you have chocolate, put chocolate in or butter. And put it in your cookie tray. Put it in the sun. Laura's got us covered. Put it in the sun. And see what happens. Check on it. Don't sit out in the sun.
Give me that chocolate.
Walk out, come back. Time it. Do about every minute. and see what starts to happen. Do it for about 10 minutes, and then if you can, do it for about 20 minutes. And that's your science today. We're starting with the sun and the power and how it affects us. Next week, we'll be reviewing more about heat stroke, heat exhaustion. We'll be talking about sunburn too. Alrighty. Well, this dude missed it. I'm going to say goodbye to Facebook, people. Don't forget drumming circle at 2:30, guys.